Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, TransparentTradeSolutions.com on a Friday the 13th. Interesting. Uh, in any event, let's get right into the markets. We are basically hanging at last night's low. Everybody knows oil is essentially the driver of everything right now. Uh, so let's start there and looking at oil. It is basically forming a range, and we are sitting right at the top of the range here, so to speak. I mean, we kind of were bumping around 98 a barrel. We pulled back last night. They wanted to break this out. I think ultimately, obviously 100. We actually hit close to 100. Well, no, 99. Obviously, things are fluid. And I think the longer this goes, we probably, just the way the markets sometimes work, there is a probability that we probably test these levels up here at some point, whether it happens over the weekend or maybe next week. Um, and again, the question is, are we going to pull back to 90 if some positive comes out and so on and so forth? So very, very tricky right now. Even trading oil, everybody says, well, just buy oil. Well, if you've been buying oil, these things swinging, $6, $7 a day, even micro, that's $1,000, um, for every $100 move and that type of thing. So every, $10 move and so forth. So it is very, very tricky right now. Um, So very volatile. That in turn is obviously causing a little bit of havoc in the markets. But again, we basically are hanging uh, not that far. Nasdaq's actually right where it was at the lows on um, Sunday. Actually above that slightly. And that also coincides with that low there and the S&P. I'm sorry, the S&P is sitting right where it was on Sunday. It still hasn't been able to crack. Is it going to crack over the weekend? We'll see. It's almost like a wait and see right here. If it does, if oil breaks 100, then you're probably going to test uh, the I misspoke. I'm sorry. We're not even at the lows from Sunday. That's what I meant to say. I misspoke. We're not even there yet. So I think there's a chance we test these here, uh, maybe over the weekend. And if we hold, that obviously is going to be uh, constructive for the bullish mark. See, we're not even there. So I mean, and there's still a chance we go down, test these lows, which incidentally we were just here back in November, the 65.46 level. So uh, if you're looking for levels, there aren't, demand levels per se. These are pivots. That's a pivot low. That's a pivot low. But these are significant, and we could see bounces. We are seeing some bounces off of these pivots. Um, so I would say if it came down in here, you could wait for uh, you know, some kind of confirmation move out of there uh, in order to go long. I thought maybe we were going to get up to 6,900 on this bounce, and we just came up into here. So going forward, this is really the key level right here. If it can hold, then I think we're good. Right now, it's just kind of in no man's land, really, not much else. And I think at some point, when the VIX maybe has to jump up to 40 or 50, that would be you're right. That's where I'd be looking to be buying. Nasdaq is holding a demand zone for the moment, and just couldn't get going anywhere. We actually had this breakdown, but going forward, uh, there's another demand right below, and then this is probably if you're trying to catch a bounce here. That level right there at 24,132 may be something to take a shot at. Obviously, a lower risk level that would be where I would be looking um, if you wanted to get long. Um, Bitcoin is trying to, again, people were asking me about Bitcoin. I'm still skeptical. I don't think it's, I don't think, we can't break out. This is clearly now establishing as a resistance. If it breaks out, if you wanted to anticipate a breakout, we are seeing a pattern. So it is starting to turn a little bit more bullish, but I would still wait for uh, a breakout. And if you do get a breakout, you got some major resistance. This is probably going to be a shorting opportunity at 85K in Bitcoin. Again, as I mentioned, the VIX not really doing a heck of a lot, which is kind of surprising. We did, when the market was at the lows on Friday, last Sunday, we did hit. This was coincident with oil hitting 119. Is that going to happen again this weekend? We'll see. That could be a possibility. And then the next piece here is 10-year yields on the brink of breaking out 430. I think this is also going to be interesting to see if yields break 430. That's also going to be pressure on the market. This is a big resistance level on yields. And if we do break, then you're probably headed to 435. Um, And if you wanted to trade this, you don't want to chase this. You could wait for some pullbacks in TLT, which is the only way really, or you could, there aren't any key levels. TLT is sitting right at a critical level. I would start looking at buying TLT down around 85. Okay, you can see that's where we actually had that nice move away. The dollar also right at a critical juncture, 100. Looks like it's going to break out, which means that you're going to have a possibility of the euro coming down to demand. Uh, the Japanese yen also coming into some key levels around the 60 area. More importantly, I think the what you want to look at in the yen is the 160 on a weekly here. That's going to be a major level and maybe a buying opportunity in the yen. Uh, Elsewhere, gold not really participating. Strong dollar, I think, is hurting gold prices. And in fact, it would not shock me um, overall if gold can't break 5K, uh, then if I'm sorry, if gold breaks 5K, then we're probably going to revisit these lows at some point, the 44.99, uh, 4,500 level. So gold's also in, I think this is predicated on the dollar. Overall, it's just been range trading. Again, very challenged to trade gold and silver right now. It's been very kind of range bound, not a lot going on there. And then obviously we just talked about oil, nat gas dead in the water, just nothing happening with nat gas. You would think they would be participating in something, but it's not. And then the grains, very volatile. Wheat is the one I've been focused on. Let's see if we can pull back to 562. I think that may be a good buy opportunity in wheat. But other than that, that's really what's happening. So going into a Friday, very interesting. I think traders are kind of waiting to see over the weekend if there's any new developments, if there's this notion that there's the Trump put, in other words, how the pressure's building that they have to do something in terms of lowering gas prices, gasoline prices. Uh, Clearly, the pressure's mounting. How what's the pressure point? In other words, at what level of oil they're going to have to kind of pull back or scale back the military? Who knows? That could come out any time, as you know. Clearly, we still haven't reached that point. Maybe it's 120 a barrel. Maybe it's, $5 gasoline. I don't know. I have no idea, but that's, I think, where the market is right now, and we'll have to see. But there is going to come a point where uh, I would actually like to see a big sell-off because that would wash out everything and then set up for some great buying opportunities. But it's still very tentative right now. And bottom line is, until the Straits of Hormuz open up and oil comes off, we're probably going to be in the same situation for a little bit. In other words, in any event, have a great weekend. Sign up for the newsletter. I'll be writing about a lot of this stuff and what we can expect going forward. Have a great weekend. Take care.